What's a cheat code you discovered in real life that actually works? Story 1. I have received free replacements when things are out of warranty. I've received great customer service. I've received free stuff. I've received discounts. Be nice to your fellow humans. If you are nice to customer service in person or over the phone or even online email, they will go out of your way to help you because you are not yelling at them or making their day hard. But this isn't a cheat code, just be nice people. Story 2. It's easy to make people like you. All you have to do is ask about things that matter to them. Spend more time inquiring about their lives than talking about your own. And you're golden. Edit Jesus. A lot of you are socially inept. Story 3. Hey Race 1. When buying tickets for a raffle that you get to place your own tickets in the ticket receptacle, first give them a gentle diagonal fold. This prevents them from lying down flat. I have won so much wonderful stuff cause my tickets get drawn so frequently. Is this the kind of cheat code you were looking for? If not, apologies. Story 4. Whenever I'm tired and my inner negative voice comes out, I've started announcing to myself, oh look, the is here, and it shuts it up and I have a much nicer internal dialogue. Story 5. Compliment people in minor ways. Don't make it weird. Just if someone is wearing something they clearly went to some effort to pick out a noteworthy watch, necklace, tie, pair of shoes, and if you genuinely like it, this makes it easier so you aren't lying, then tell them, nice shoes, or that color really suits you, and then leave it. They will be pleased, and if it's someone you see often, I promise they will remember that you said something nice. For example, I bet you remember the last time someone complimented your shoes or whatever, right? So go be that person for someone else. Edited to add because this took off. I think most people took my comment in the spirit I meant it in. Just to add, when I say and then leave it, I mean literally, just drop that compliment and then carry on, keep walking, change the subject if it's a work conversation. Also don't confuse this with how to score with the gender you admire because this isn't it. I mean, it might go there eventually, but this is just a positive life hack, not a meet your mate kind of thing. Compliments with no expectations are just a nice positive thing, for both your day and theirs. Story 6. From the customer service side of things, aligning yourself with an upset client customer can cause them to make a total 180. We had a lady who came into our Starbucks on a regular basis and constantly bitched about how long her drink took, or how ridiculous it was that we had to make the drinks in the order they were received, etc. One day I decided to go over to the handoff counter, and leaned over and started conspiratorially commiserating with her. I talked about how all the Starbucks employees know how awful given policy is, and it's so sucky that our hands are tied and we're not allowed to do any different. The second she felt like I was on her side, I became her favorite barista, and she stopped harassing the store. Story 7. When a mosquito flies by your ear at night, 1. Flap your bed sheets as if you are ventilating in undersheets. 2. Quickly get up and turn on the lights. 3. Look at the wall next to your pillow where your head was. Blood-sucking homie should be right there. 4. Use large flat object to quickly smush. Books or CD cases work great. 5. Get back to sleep knowing that Fexker's dead and won't bother you anymore. Works like 90% of the time. Flapping the bed sheets destabilizes their flight so they land as quickly as they can the wall next to you, then they will take 20 to 30 seconds to assess the situation. That's your kill window, so gotta be quick before he takes off again. Story 8. Pick your battles. This applies to every aspect of life, school, career, friendship, marriage, etc. OMG, amount of time I see people win the battle but lose the war astonishes me. Do you really want to stress your child because he washes dishes after everyone done eating versus clean as dinner goes? Do you really want to annoy your spouse because Husha chose to do laundry instead of brushing toilets? Do you really want to ruin a meeting because your colleague booked a meeting room on the 6th floor instead of 5th floor? Pick your battles. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Let the other person be right and move on. Story 9. Remember eating and drinking during a crisis. I work in IT. I've been in a fair few everything's broken moments, and you're a lot less good to everyone when you're dehydrated and have no blood sugar energy. Story 10. Rather than multiplying by 5, divide your number by 2 and move a decimal place to the right. Instead 132 by 5 660 or 132 266. Move a decimal right 660. This works for division as well if you inverse the functions 275 515 or 75 2 150. Move decimal left 15. Quick maths. Story 11. A friend and I broke into CES in Las Vegas as all the vendors were setting up, grabbed 2 empty cardboard boxes and walked anywhere we wanted. Anytime we were questioned, such as the podium Bill Gates would speak at the next day, we just said we forgot our badges and were bringing stuff in. The boxes and the attitude sold it. Remember George Costanza, if you believe it, it's not a lie. Story 12. Never say something to a person who is unable to hear it. Stay silent on the subject. Actively avoid it. Usually, they will get curious and ask your opinion. When a person has had to work for information, they are more likely to consider it honestly even if it's criticism. Story 13. Do whatever you want. Just don't hurt yourself or anyone else in the process. It sounds like you have all the freedom in the world, and you do, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others in the process. Really makes you stop and think through before you do something stupid. Story 14. The lowest people in the company hierarchy often have the most power. It's extremely beneficial to be nice, not just to your boss but to the facility staff, secretaries, and front desk admin. They can all literally and figuratively open doors for you. Story 15. Bring a dozen donuts. Dropping a car off at the mechanic, bring them a dozen donuts. Work meeting, bring in a dozen donuts. It improves any and all situations and outcomes. It's like magic. Story 16 about to cook a frozen pepperoni pizza. Take the peps off, stack them up, cut the stack into 4 tiches, then sprinkle all those pepperonis back on the pizza. Guaranteed full pizza coverage. No big peps filled with boiling grease to burn your face off. ITLL change your frozen pizza game. 100. Story 17 smiling and choosing your words better. I am a total introvert, autistic, mentally ill to the point I should be put down like a sick dog, but smiling more improved a lot of things. People are nicer to me. I feel less awful in general, too. People assume I am confident even on my worst days. Others feel safe around me. I get told I am attractive more often. People who are rude or mean to me often apologize and are nicer during future meetings because I encounter them with words that make them feel something, without putting myself down. I went from being a creep and a weirdo to being well-liked and someone a lot of people have a soft spot for. My social awkwardness is now seen as cute or funny, not as weird or bad. When I go mute they also seem less frustrated with me because I smile and nod now, instead of just giving them a blank stare and hope they stop talking so I can recover from the stress and get to a point where I can talk again. Maybe this is an autism-specific life hack, but I think a lot of neurotypical people could also benefit from it. Story 18 I have a couple of voice recordings of my friends and I hanging out, watching cricket and being hilarious. At one point, we have a laughing fit, and when I'm feeling down or isolated from my friends, I listen to it and cheer right back up. Story 19 I ordered a pizza one time from a local chain on a public holiday, and after 2 hours had passed I phoned up to get an update. The lady that answered the phone sounded on the brink of tears and was super apologetic. I guess everyone else in the city had the same idea. I told her not to worry about it, I was just concerned it had been lost and that it wasn't her fault, then apologized for taking up her time while she was obviously busy. My pizza came with a voucher for 2 free pizzas. Not hard to have a little compassion, and most of the time it works out well for you. Story 20 Don't buy 1 grilling mitt in the grilling section. Walk over to the welding section and buy 2 welding gloves for half the price of 1 grilling mitt. Story 21 6 of us flying from LA to Boston. Flight cancelled. Had to wait for another flight. Watched people constantly harassing the agents at the counter. I spoke to them a few times. I always treat workers with respect. After a few hours my name was called. The agent gave me 6 business class tickets for the next flight and told me just show the tickets and say nothing to anyone. We all stretched out in the reclining seats and got a decent meals. Story 22 Throwing cooked. Wiki in front of a recipe and it gives an ingredient list and instructions you can actually follow without scrolling through someone's 3-chapter food blog life story. Story 23 Every time you say something negative about another person, you are reinforcing that thought via strengthening neural pathways in your brain. You are literally reiterating that thought to yourself. So if you tell your friends ew, that person is fat, you are teaching your brain that weight gain is unacceptable. Anytime you insult an imperfection, you are training your brain that only perfection is acceptable, and then you become miserable because you spent your life strengthening the neural pathways that end up disparaging you yourself. So instead, if you focus on the beauty of others, you strengthen those neural pathways in your brain and you end up loving yourself even more. Story 24 When I was about 8 years old I had the biggest cheat code moment. I remember vividly. I was in the school bus and I thought I actually don't have to tell people exactly what I think, I can just not say anything, just keep it to myself. The feeling of power was mind-boggling, like I discovered the cure against mind reading. Story 25 Keeping quiet has worked for me when it comes to small things. If I find someone mildly obnoxious, just not engaging with them is enough to get them to go away or stop being obnoxious. Engaging with them usually just raises my blood pressure, gets them the attention they are seeking and does nothing of good overall. Also, when someone especially in person is angry, giving them a dead fish eye stare works for me. No emotion on my face, just stare directly at them until there is a break, and I can say whatever I need to in a calm, flat tone. Some people either lose steam because there is no feedback or get creeped out because there is no feedback. I haven't yet had it make anyone angrier, but I'm sure it could happen. Story 26 People appreciate a thank you. People love a yep put on airplane sounds for your kids as white noise as they sleep when you are at home. Then when you travel by plane, they'll be more calm and more likely to sleep. Story 27 If you are in a meeting and you have no idea what it's about, or didn't do the work, be the second to speak and elaborate a bit on what the first guy said, then from time to time agree with something else or crack a lame joke. After the meeting everyone will have the impression you contributed and know what you're talking about. Story 28 Realizing that past experiences is the only reliable information about how something will make me feel. I can't rely on how I'm feeling when I'm anticipating the thing. Example 1 My brain often tricks me to think that I'll get endless enjoyment out of buying a thing. But every single time I bought something, even something expensive, I got 1 day to 1 week max of excitement. After that it just became mundane. I remember that whenever I start browsing Amazon out of boredom, example 2 I often don't want to get out of the house when I'm feeling down. My brain keeps telling me, you feel bad, you should be crawling in bed, not force me to do an activity, but every time I forced myself to go for a walk or a meeting with a friend, I felt better after that, yet I have to rationally remember that because my body-mind still tells me the opposite. Story 29 Honesty is like crack for women, and I don't mean that I just tell it like it is bullshit, I mean actually being honest about who you are and what you want. Story 31 Turn your garbage bags inside out when you put them in the can bin. It dislodges the static cling around the seams and corners so you can actually use the full volume of the bag. as long as you're not packing it with full bottles of liquid, the inverted seam still won't break. It's going to save you multiple boxes of garbage bags liners per year too. The sun shield for your vehicle usually has a decorated colored side and a silver side. Most people put the decorated side facing out, reverse it, put the silver side facing out, and it'll keep your vehicle interior much cooler, comparatively. 3. Tired of food sauces sticking to your pans after you've cooked, especially cheese type, tomato sauce, or anything else that sticks? Don't leave it for later or soak it. While the pot pan is still warm, empty it completely, add some water, then put it back on low heat enough so it steams. Give it a few minutes and you can wipe off most of the sticky, baked-on mess and wash without hassle. Story 31. Do things for others without expecting anything in return. Seriously, the dopamine of doing good and knowing you made someone's life better, even in a small way, is crazy. I used to be a bitter hermit, not mean, just left alone. This one change really helped me. Story 32. When walking through a crowd, look intently at a spot in the distance. People instinctively move out of the way when you look like you know where you're going. Don't make eye contact to initiate the moving left-right dance, and you can just continue straight. The crowd part's like the Red Sea. Story 33. Get in the correct lane as early as possible. Makes driving much less stressful and safe. If you're making a right turn 4 intersections away, get yourself in the right lane. Story 34. I used to fly buddy pass from a pilot friend, and felt guilty, so decided to bring the head stewardess, the one that checks your tickets when you board. I think they're usually the head, several nice chocolate bars, just as a way to say thank you to the staff. I've done it around 15 times, and every time I either get bumped up to business class, or a free drink or something. I don't do it to get anything in return, but they always seem so thankful to receive it. Story 35. Hang a laundry bag near or on your hamper, and put all your socks into the laundry bag in preparation for washing. Then just zip up the bag when it's time to wash, and all your socks are in one place after it comes out of the dryer, not lost in a pant leg or in the crevices of a bedsheet. Never lost a sock since I started doing this. Story 36. In a customer service situation, acting like you're too stupid to understand what the rep is saying to you is often more effective than arguing or getting angry. They'll relent just to stop dealing with you. Story 37. If you have a cold blocked nose and are having difficulty sleeping, rub Vicks VapoRub on the soles of your feet, and put socks on, then go back to bed. It clears your blocked nose. I have no idea why this works, but it has never failed me. Story 38. Go slow with near everything. Going slowly and not making a mistake is much faster than going fast and then having to go back and fix your errors. Similar vibe, but don't make decisions quickly. Impulses are often wrong. A moment or two of clear-headed contemplation can save decades of pain. Dance sometimes, you'll feel good. Be honest, work hard, stick to your word, and apologize if and only if you messed up. Everything you need to be okay is inside of you. The sun is coming up tomorrow, and the things you had to do will still be there, so do them now if you can, but also don't panic. Stuff isn't going anywhere. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter what. Finally, and I feel like I've gone a bit astray, but it feel worth mentioning with all this other stuff, suicide is for pussies. Don't tolerate blasé references to it. Story 39. You can find extra time in your day if you just think about how you can fold time. Example: in the morning, I usually make a cup of coffee for my ride to work, and also I have to move my wife's car so I can get mine out because she's usually home after me. Making a cup of coffee with a machine takes about 3 minutes. Moving the car takes 2. So 5 minutes, right? No, once the coffee has been started, I can go out and move the car while it's brewing and then come back when it's done, so it takes 3 minutes to accomplish both tasks. Now 2 minutes saved isn't much, but if you apply this principle as much as you can, you'll be surprised about how much time you can save throughout your day. I call it folding time, but this is really just a principle of manufacturing where tasks get staged concurrently where possible to reduce time in production. Story 40. 25g of creatine. I saw a thing saying it would help with sleep deprivation, and while not getting any sleep because of a sick child, I tried it on a whim. Within 30 minutes I felt like I had a full night of sleep. Even though my body was still feeling tired, my mood improved and I didn't feel groggy. I did get the shits, but apparently you aren't supposed to take all 25g at the same time, so there's that. Story 41. Be nice to all service people, mechanics, waitstaff, traffic controllers, and be genuine when you ask them about their day. You would not believe the perks you get. Story 42. Kindness. Even in the face of initial hostility, it's disarming, and if wielded in a genuine and authentic way, it can calm volatile situations and open minds. Story 43. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is an astounding cheat code. 1. Always your best. 2. Don't take anything personally. 3. Be impeccable with your word. And 4. The hardest for me, don't make any assumptions, ever. This is proven to be a true life hack. Easier said than done, but amazingly simple way to approach life. Story 44. For me personally, stop arguing with people on the internet. I was very invested in this years ago. Now I just read a dumb comment and move on. Most of the time the algorithms especially seem to pick dumb comments and put them on top to farm engagement. Story 45. If your cats keep fighting with each other, wipe one of them down with churro or butter. They'll be so focused on licking it off of the one cat that they will forget to fight, and the act of bathing will be a sort of bonding moment. We did this for a cat that started attacking his brother. Our process was butter on the cat that would attack the brother, then allow him in the same room as the brother. The attacker would be so focused on cleaning the butter off, he left the brother alone. Then we did the churu treat on both him and the brother cat, so they just hung out in the same room for a bit cleaning themselves up. Then we only put churu on the brother cat, and even though attacker did chase and attack brother, he stopped completely once he smelled the churu and bathed him and was fine after he was all clean. The second day he went straight to cleaning him up and didn't attack. We slathered the brother with churu for about a week and let them hang out longer and longer until things were mostly all fixed. The attacker regressed a few months later, but we did a few days of churu and they got along fine for the rest of their lives, 8 years. Story 46. When traveling to foreign countries, try to learn and use the basic vocabulary hello, please, thank you. People love it as it is respectful towards their culture and you get treated much better. Story 47. Instead of saying, what do you want to do, present people with two options, both of which are agreeable to you. People have a hard time coming up with an answer when not given parameters, but an easy time choosing between options. This works on kids. Do you want to put on your pajamas or brush your teeth first? They pick and move toward their choice instead of whining to watch more Bluey. This works in professional settings. I can do X or Y, how would you like me to proceed? Z. The answer they would normally give, but which is the objectively wrong answer, is never mentioned. This works on significant others. What do you want to do for dinner? I was thinking Chinese takeout or pizza. This avoids the oh, I'm fine with anything. Wait, actually not that loop. Story 48. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat. If you feel like everyone hates you, sleep. If you feel like you hate yourself, shower. Seems so simple, but it really does work. Story 49. Happy spouse, happy house or apartment or whatever. I have friends who are like, my partner is mad at me, like, have you tried showing an interest in what they do and what they like? Isn't hard, do a project that you both believe in, be helpful, get laid more. Your bud isn't going to do gross stuff to your, but if you don't make them feel valued and heard. Well, the best life cheat code is seriously just don't be a. That comment about complimenting people behind their back is the real pro tip though. It works every time. Story 50 is hottest when you take your time and stay present in the moment and focus on what you're feeling and let your body take control. It already knows what to do, you gotta get out of your own way. What I always tell my grandkids, do something kind once a week for someone else and do the same for yourself. I'm not talking about opening the door for the person behind you. That goes without saying that you should do that. I'm talking about going out of your way a little bit, like buying lunch and taking it to the homeless person. Even though they were hungry or not, your soul will know that you meant to be kind. Maybe my lunch for your coworker that you know didn't bring lunch or doesn't have a lot of money. Mow the yard for your elderly neighbor. Make some cookies and take them to work for everyone. Spend some time out of your day to be compassionate and listen to someone who needs you, and then do something kind for yourself during that week as well. Take a long hot bath. Treat yourself to your favorite Starbucks. Do some guilty little pleasure. These things are good for mental health, and being kind to others just makes you feel good. Story 51. When I have to pee but it won't come out because of nerves or tension or whatever, I count backwards from 10, some kind of neurological trick that works on the brain, and by the time I'm at 7 usually the pee is flowing already. Story 52. Probably a shitty one, but losing weight. I lost 60 pounds over the past 2 years and it makes a world of difference in how the world interacts with you, regardless of how you interact with the world. Story 53. There was a coffee vending machine in the engineering building on my college campus that had a test code which would vend 1 test cup of coffee. I tested it every morning. Story 54. Take your sick days. Use your PTO. It's good to like your job, but never love it. ITLL never love you back. Put in exactly the amount of effort you are paid to put in. Story 55. Making my own calorie-free low-calorie soda. Some soda water, unsweetened cranberry juice, and a lime is one of the best sodas I've ever had, and it's basically 0 calories, pretty healthy to drink even. I used to drink hundreds of calories in soda each day. I really enjoy carbonated beverages, but Coke especially. For anyone addicted to soda like I was, I highly recommend getting a soda stream or mixing your own sodas. It's way healthier, not to mention much cheaper. I think it tastes better too. Story 56. You don't need stuff. Things collect dust. Memories last longer and don't cost anything to move. Being a minimalist isn't a bad thing. Enjoy life. Don't worry about having the stuff. Story 57. 1. You don't actually have to listen to the voices in your head that limit you. 2. There are no rules in life, but there are laws for a reason. 3. You have to find yourself to be yourself. Everything you do hinges on this. 4. Emotions are inconsistent and fleeting. Learn to accept this and let go of chasing happiness. 5. No matter what the internet shows you, people haven't changed much, and they're mostly good. Story 58. If you're angry or upset at someone and you feel the urge to confront them, write it all down in an email draft and save it for 24 hours. When you come back to it, edit out the rage and leave the valid criticism, and use that as the basis of your conversation. Coming in hot almost always makes the other person stop listening, whereas coming in calm gives you a chance to get them to change their behavior. Story 59. Shrug off bad days. If something is stressful, ask yourself if it's really that big of a deal. If it is, ask if there is something you can do about it. If no, point in stressing it. Sometimes it's so, you can't do it all and can't fix the world alone. Just shrug it off, prioritize what you can actually fix, and then deal with the aftermath later. Story 60. Use psychedelics judiciously for self-improvement. There are good reasons why folks like David Bowie, Steve Jobs, etc. were so successful and used psychedelics, either mushrooms or LSD. Research it first. Set up your environment ahead of time. Test to make sure you're not getting fentanyl. have a trip sitter you trust. If you don't feel like it's the right time, wait, right at peak about 2 hours in on LSD, spend 15 minutes somewhere dark, warm, and quiet, start early in the morning, and journal the next day. It can change your whole perspective on your life. For me, it was always to my benefit. Story 61. Thanking people for doing things for you, even when they were supposed to do those things, even when them doing those things is their job. I didn't live like this, thinking that people doing what they were supposed to do was bare minimum or something. It wasn't exactly a specific codified way of life, but an employer I worked for did it, including with me, which I found weird at first, so I would do it at work with contractors and such because I knew he'd have done it if he was there, and I felt the difference in service. Started doing it across the board with friends and family, with checkout staff, with anyone that does anything for me at all. The world is a better, more helpful place now. If you haven't been doing this, you'll be amazed how much other people will do for you, even unprompted. I still haven't exactly figured out if it's the recognition of their effort or their desire to be thanked. I flip-flop on that. Maybe it's both to some degree or other, but it works. Story 62. If you go to an ATM and type in -300 for withdrawal, your balance will go up. Don't abuse it though, guys. I've been living fat off that, and I'd hate to see it getting patched. IDLL just be our secret. Story 63. Stop dragging your past into today. Bad stuff happened, sure, people sucked, absolutely, but replaying it on loop just makes you the permanent victim, and that ruins now. Everyone has scars. It's not a competition for who suffered most. Take the lesson, drop the baggage. If you don't, those old stories will run your life and you'll mistake every new moment for the same old pain too. Don't complain about something you actively choose to keep. Hey, race the trap. Most people don't see you hate your job, a relationship, your habits, or your situation, so you whine about it every day but you never do anything different. That's not venting, that's building yourself a cage. The loop looks like this: you notice something sucks, you complain about it, you keep participating in it anyway, you feel stuck and powerless, repeat, but the real cheat code is this: you always have two honest choices: change it or accept it. Complaining without doing either is just self-sabotage dressed up as expressing your feelings. Every minute you spend whining is energy you could have used to either take action, or to find peace with what is, and until you pick one, you'll stay trapped in the loop. Story 64. Say what you mean, don't hint, be passive-aggressive, or talk around things, then require other people in your life to do the same. AKA don't expect others to read your mind and refuse to attempt to read other people's. This prevents 90 of arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings. Story 65. Counting down to do something. Laying in bed and don't want to stand up. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then you're able to stand up, because your logical brain sets in. It's absurd, but it works great in my experience. Story 66. Just talk to people when things are going wrong. Going to be late to an appointment. Call them and let them know. Got charged an overdraft by your bank. Call them and ask if you can get that charge removed. Having a bad day at work because your life is falling apart. Communicate your needs to your peers. Finding yourself in a position where you won't have a term paper done on time. Email your professor and see if they'll give you an extension. It doesn't fix everything, but it's helped me in little ways hundreds of times in my life. Story 67. Read for learning. Knowledge compounds. And the person who is constantly reading and learning and applying what they learn will one day realize just how far they got from all that they learned. Story 68. Generally speaking, referring to someone by their name while talking to them subconsciously makes them like you more. There's something familiar and comforting about hearing your own name. I've noticed so many times people I'm talking to suddenly have a big smile after I drop their name to them. I don't know their name, that's crazy. Story 69. Basic knowledge of personal finance, investing, and taxes. Little bit of knowledge that snowballs over a lifetime. Could be boiled down to understanding how compound interest works and Googling ChatGPT how to minimize your taxes. Story 70. Many companies offer a free birthday gift once a year, like Jersey Mike's is a free sub, Sephora some free makeup, stuff like that. The cheat code is, in each of those apps make your birthday a completely different month. That way you can get a free items every single month, having several different bank accounts to keep spending in check. For example, one account for spending, one for bills, one for food, and one for gas. It can be annoying loading money into various ATMs accounts, but it really makes budgeting significantly easier and less stressful. Never do overdraft protection. GoodRx is $20 a month. It gives you discounts so good on RX that it often beats insurance. FYI, if you have insurance also you'll want to ask for out-of-pocket cost or state you have GoodRx first. Once you say you have insurance they can't legally disclose the price. Also with a GoodRx plan you can do a virtual doctor visit for $20. You can also get life insurance and add on ancillary coverage. Example: some life insurance will allow you to add on cancer or serious illness coverage. Planned Parenthood is a viable and affordable doctor option. They can write RX now for blood pressure meds, antibiotics, and more. Having a positive attitude while also setting reasonable boundaries will yield better results career-wise than being a hard-working yes-man with a no-one-wants-to-work-anymore attitude. Compound interest is your friend. Invest in 401k as young of an age as possible, even if it's just a few bucks a month. At age 40 you'll be glad you did. Though as you get older you'll want to diversify. But please, if you're 21 and have a 401k option at work, just do it. Don't move more than 6 hours away from your parents. This is the absolute maximum. Less than 2 hours is more optimal. I moved 3,000 miles away not understanding how much of an obstacle that would be. No built-in babysitters, no safety net if I needed, holidays were depressing, life is dreadfully short, and cost to see them financially burdensome. If you can even manage to get the time off from work, if you can manage to stay with under 40 minutes, you're golden. Remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. The grass simply isn't always greener. Story 71. If you get really good service from a plumber, when you need electrical work, ask them who they like. Many people in complementary trades know the reputation of others' tradespeople, and the ones with high integrity will only recommend others with similar reputations. Story 72. Being nice to the person on the phone. When you call a corporation to ask for something, complain about an issue, nearly every time my issue gets solved, or I get a discount on my bill, or some sort of unplanned upgrade, they likely hate their corporation as much as you do, and have some levers to pull when they need to help keep a customer. I can assure you, the call center worker didn't deliberately cause your internet to go out in the middle of a Fortnite match, but they do have the power to give you a free month of internet if they need to keep a subscriber. Story 73. If I'm asked if I like a dress, shoes, purse, if I don't like it, find something about it I do. I love the color, the length, the fit, how it goes with something else. That way I stay honest and don't hurt someone's feelings. I don't feel like you have to wear something I would wear. Everyone has different tastes and you should enjoy yours. Story 74. I started this with my wife and children. When you're driving and another driver does something foolish or overly aggressive, come up with a backstory to validate it for them to keep yourself from getting angry. The sillier the better. Example: that person has the last functional VCR in the country and is rushing home because they never learned to program it and need to stop it before this week's streaming episode of Insert Show Name overwrites last season's finale of Insert a Show you're watching and love. Story 75. If it will take less than 2 minutes, just do it now. That way, you don't have to remember so much stuff. This applies to bill paying as soon as the bill comes, taking the garbage out as soon as it's full, folding the laundry as soon as it's dry, cleaning the microwave after your egg blows up immediately. Like before you give up and grab a Pop-Tart instead, etc. Story 76. Layering shitty paper towels makes them effective. 3 layers is pretty much as absorbent as you'll ever need. 5 layers and you will have dry portions of the paper left when done drying your hands.